What's up guys, welcome back to another Paladins video. In this one I want to talk about Maldamba. I talked about him in a previous vid a while back after he got a big buff in OB36. I touched on how good he became at the time, and how Ying was still the better healer, but 4 patches later and things are really different. He got a few buffs and Ying got a few nerfs, making him really strong and Ying a little bit weaker but not in a bad spot at all. She's still really good too, but she's been moved down to second place without a doubt. I want to talk about why he's the best healer and why he's so good right now, and if you're not playing him, I really recommend giving him a try. I've had a lot of good games with him lately, and even though Ying's probably my favorite character in the game, Mal has really been my go-to pick for when my team needs a support. He has a lot of things going for him right now. His gourd provides area control, healing, and damage. His right click is an on-demand heal every 3 seconds. His F is an evade that makes him unhittable. His ultimate forces enemies to run away and basically be defenseless for 2 seconds. And his primary weapon deals good damage and is a stun at the end of his reload. He really has a lot of fantastic tools at his disposal. If you're a well-versed Maldamba player, you're able to keep the whole team healed as well as keep the enemy team down, whether that's through stunning, locking off areas, or just straight up slaying. Now, I don't want to make him out to be overpowered because he's definitely not. To use him to his full potential takes a lot of work and a lot of quick thinking. To be in the fight, healing, stunning, slaying, and surviving all at the same time is no easy feat. He's no Ying, he can't just put up illusions that heal for him every 5 seconds while he focuses on damage and staying alive. He has much more utility, and to utilize that utility takes a lot of quick decision making in the heat of battle. A character that takes more work should bring more reward, and he personifies that. I've had a lot of Mal games where I had top healing, top damage, and a high amount of eliminations, close to the top if not tied with the top. Haven't quite hit the top yet with all those. Now I'm talking like over 1k damage here with 40 plus limbs and like 90k healing. Mal's potential is definitely there. Any support player would benefit from learning how to play him to his fullest, and even players that really only want one support under their belt just in case should look into making Mal that support. Now I want to make this clear, just because I'm saying he's really good and to use him, that doesn't mean the other supports are bad and you shouldn't. I just want you all to be aware of how beneficial and threatening he can be for both your team and the enemy team. Ying of course puts out a lot of healing and is pretty difficult to kill. Pip is excellent for 2 support team comps because he's a very high damage support that acts a lot like a flank, so you're getting multi-roles there. As for Grover and Grok, well I really wouldn't use Grok because that totem is kind of a joke in comparison to other healing options in the support category. And as for Grover, well he isn't bad but he isn't that great either. His kit is really weird and scattered for his playstyle. I'll probably make a video going over why he's so weird next. But anyway, a big thing that a support needs to have right now is utility. The more, the better. Since Cauterize can really limit healing late game, being able to do other things to help the team is very beneficial. Since Mal arguably has the most utility in the support category next to Pip, he's able to still be very useful even after the enemy team is stacked up to tier 3 Cauterize. I'd love to really go more in depth with Mal here, but I leave that for a future guide video. I can confidently say I've gotten pretty good with him, but I need to work on my aim a bit more. My PC currently has a bottlenecking problem which causes a lot of FPS fluctuations, and when the FPS drops from like 100 to 60 randomly, even for like a second, it can mess up my aim in those moments. It won't be a problem much longer, so I want to work on my Mal play a bit more after I get that fixed before I make a guide video for him. I do urge you practice with him though if you do intend on using him, because he isn't really an easy pickup and it takes experience to really use him to his fullest. If you want a few tips, then I'd say keep in mind his evade only goes forward. It isn't like Cassie's roll that goes in any direction. That used to trip me up a bit. I'd also say try your best to consistently land your heal beam and stuns. The reload is long, so if you miss the stun, it'll take a good amount of time to ready it again. Time you and your team probably don't have. And as for the beam, even though its cooldown is only 3 seconds, hitting it in the first place can be the difference between life and death. There is a card where it lowers the heal beam's cooldown upon missing, but if you just train yourself well enough to not miss, you can have those points for another card. It's a good thing to use when starting out for sure though. And that's pretty much it guys. I want to thank you all for watching. I very much appreciate it, and I'm gonna see you guys later. Bye!